Hello everyone, welcome to a new live stream for Nasdaq, SPX, Gold, Nvidia, and Tesla to see what is gonna happen today in this, of course, interesting day where we're gonna see the interest rate decision from the FOMC, and that it might affect, of course, the market very heavily today. So we're gonna see, of course, on the Nasdaq currently, before moving to the indicator on the 1 hour chart. Yesterday we saw, of course, a pump toward the upside, but lately it has appeared, of course, to be based on the news that we saw, of course, yesterday from a potential war between India and Pakistan. So that has directly raised up the Nasdaq towards the upside, the same as for some crypto market. We saw some volatility yesterday. Is this, of course, just a news, or is it still looking for higher? One more high to finish our A, B here, and then we're looking for wave C, of course, to finish a wave 5 in a leading diagonal. Now, preferably, of course, is this scenario. Preferably is to see this scenario finishing as 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and that one more wave toward the upside hitting the blue box, knowing that we were very close. Now basically an A, B, and a C here as a correction has been unfolding, expanding flat, and we start to see some higher prices. But basically I would like to move inside this wave exactly on the 15-minute chart. So as you can see here, it's a little bit hard to call an impulse. Now we saw, of course, a move toward the upside, but it's really hard to call it a wave 3, right? Especially after this very sideways range, which was supposed to be a wave 4 without interfering with the zone 1. I was expecting continuation toward the upside yesterday, but this did not happen, and this is, of course, a weakness here. And I believe that after interfering with the zone 1, this is not an impulse anymore. And basically, this is 3 waves zigzag can be finished as a wave 1. In case we're still looking for higher, it might be again an ending diagonal that it might finish here a wave C. Yes, so a wave C, as of course after this correction, you might have a wave C toward the upside, and that means your wave 5 is finishing as A, B, and a C. Very simple. You would like to see here a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Hitting the blue box one more time, and then finishing a wave 5, wave C, major wave 5, and then major wave 1. And then dropping down for a wave 2. So basically this is the path that I'm looking after right now. This is your wave 2. Potentially it can still be unfolding, and that means we might still looking for lower wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Let's add the path potentially somehow like that. All right, this is what I would like to see. If this does not happen, therefore we have to come back to the risky scenario, right? So don't forget, anyway, we are in the top almost. Whether with one more leg toward the upside or without it, we're moving toward the downside soon or later, right? And therefore, of course, less risky is, of course, to maybe just watching, stay out a little bit. And no financial advice, of course, but I mean, you would like to see the reaction in this area first before making a decision. This is how I think strategically here. And it doesn't matter if we see one more leg toward the upside. I mean, small one, the highest potential is to move toward the downside after it, right? As 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5 in both case scenarios. So I prefer to stay out from my point of view and my strategies. Now, if we take a look as well on the MACD indicator for the Nasdaq, first thing to see is, of course, that okay, we are still above the EMA 200, which is a good signal. But if we are at the top here, okay, that is a potential to break it, right? Especially after a finished leading diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, and if this is, of course, something unfolding as a corrective here, Well, I would like to see anyway an impulse at least for a wave A, B, and a C. Now it can start with 3 waves down, 3 waves up, impulse wave C, then 3 waves up, then impulse wave C. Very possible as well, right? On the MACD here, what we are looking at is, of course, after this divergence that you can see here exactly, right? Starting from there. So this divergence is, of course, a weakness, right, for or exhaustion for the buyers, and of course, a signal that we might start to shift to the downside, right? Um, yeah, so basically, I'm still looking for this, but we saw the move toward the downside right now. And we still see, of course, the trend on the MACD still moving down, while here we see kind of like break, right? So if the price break over this trend line, taken like, I mean, this one, yeah, if we break over it, that would be a signal. Yeah, that would be a signal that we might still be in this ending diagonal toward the upside. Meaning simply take the trend line taken from those three tops here, and if we break this, especially that we are looking at a potential bullish cross here, in case the things will shift toward the upside again, we would like to see momentum rising up first, breaking this trend, getting a bullish cross, and then moving toward the upside. Continuously as the scenario that I'm showing here, potentially moving in an ending diagonal. It's not necessarily to get a wave 2 deeper, by the way. It can be a finished wave 2 here. And so very, very, of course, small price action here that we're talking about. But basically, the trend would like to continue, of course, for higher if we get the signal here, right? This is what I'm watching right now for NASDAQ. If we take a look as well on SPX to see what do we have today. So for the SPX, yeah, in SPX we did not see the move towards the upside yesterday due to the news even, right? We still seeing red again, and again, right? So SPX is looking a little bit weaker, honestly, than NASDAQ. And normally, of course, NASDAQ is very known for its volatility. But basically, what I'm looking as per Elliott wave, I'm still looking for a wave V potentially, and then moving towards the upside for a wave C, right? So we didn't saw so much change. It's still the same potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to hit this blue box after having a clear impulse here. Unless this is, of course, on the 15-minute chart, is something else, like you have finished here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave A, wave B, and you finished ending diagonal wave C. And that means, of course, you might have finished as well a wave 5 here. Therefore, again, as per risk management, I'm not interested again, right? I'm not interested in this area anymore. We are at the top, whether now or one more high. And if this is the case scenario, even if we get one more high, that's fine. Okay, I know then from there we might shift toward the downside for a wave 2, right? And then continuation for higher in a wave 3, explosive and massive toward the upside. These are the scenarios for the S&P as well. On the MACD, much more clearer signal actually for the MACD. And based on the EMA 200 on the 1 hour chart, okay, we still over it, but you have a bearish cross. It doesn't mean that you have to move toward the downside. It can, of course, start to shift on the 0 here in confluence with the EMA, right? And start to move toward the upside. But basically, I'm expecting a little bit much more volatility today based on the FOMC, of course. So we might see something volatile. So yeah, we're gonna watch and see. But yeah, I mean, if this will continue just as a slow motion, this is what you would like to see. Now be careful. This is a signal. This is an important signal on the 4-hour chart for the S&P. This is very, very important because, of course, it's higher time frame. It's much more effective. You see the downtrend, and we just hit it, right? Hit it with a confluence of a bearish cross. and the momentum moving toward the downside, meaning very, very likely to start even to drop down towards the wave 2. So we have to be careful with it, guys. Very strong indication, stronger than nasdaq, of course, on the S&P. So we have to be careful with it. And of course, I mean, again, I'm not interested in this area. Soon or later we move toward the downside with one more high or without it. And I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt it that we're gonna get it. I see a lot of weakness, and especially that the fundamentals are a little bit that to not have a cut rate. The percentage is to not have a cut rate, and this might affect the prices, of course, guys. So trade safe today. So this is regarding NASDAQ and SPX. We're gonna see, of course, the gold next, and as of course as a signal, if we see the gold rising up, that means of course NASDAQ and SPX might move down, guys. And here we go. We're moving toward the upside. Hello, Shafi. How you doing, bro? Regarding the gold, thank you, bro. We have ABC toward the downside, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5 potentially. Finished a wave 1. So let's move at the 1 hour chart to see this much clearer. Okay, we're still seeing higher prices. Okay, wave 1 a little bit more extended here. So 1, 2, and then wave 3, 4, and a 5. Wave 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, we see a very clear impulse towards the upside, and we might see, of course, lower prices. Nvidia coming after the gold directly, bro. Good to see you, man. All right, so A, B, and a C toward the downside is expected as well for a wave 2 for the gold here, or a wave B. Why wave B? Because don't forget that you still can get the all-time high correctively, and especially after a very strong trend, and expanding flat is very, very possible, because the influence of the buyers are still there. Even due a correction, it's still there. It might get the all-time high and then start to move for a wave C toward the downside. So we have to be careful. It might be, of course, a zigzag hitting perfectly the 1.38, 1.23, which are, of course, can be an ABC here, zigzag, and also finishing a bigger A, B, and a C. So we have to keep this in mind, of course, as a bearish scenario. In a bullish scenario, you would like to see, of course, a wave 3 breaking all these scenarios. Meaning, now if we get this as a wave 1 again, and you get a wave 2 minimum target, let's say 0.38, right? And you would like to see those targets for a wave 3. Here we go. At least 1.27. This should be a wave 3 impulse. Here we go. At least 1.27 at 3,600. This is your wave 3 over there. 4 and a 5 even moving for higher. A wave B would finish exactly inside this box, the lower one. This is the gold, and you would like to see, of course, an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. All right, and then continuation towards the downside, unless this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will become like 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, somehow like this. This is an impulsive wave 3, right? Then 4 and a 5, of course, for higher again. Simply doing extensions and going higher and higher. And that means, of course, we're gonna see, of course, something else unfolding here. We're gonna have to change the structure, as rather finishing wave 5 here, it's gonna transform to 1, 2, then finishing wave 3, 4, and a 5, meaning still going higher and higher extensions. So these are the potential scenarios right now for the gold. Currently, I'm looking for a correction for the gold. So, sorry, you can see, of course, on the 1 hour chart that you're moving toward the downside. If we move to the 15-minute chart here, this is 3 waves actually, but I'm still looking for one more wave C, at least to hit the 0.38. So this is the blue box, next blue box, as highest possibility, right, for the gold. So today we might see, of course, a move towards the downside. If we see this today, well, does it mean for Nasdaq and S&P to move higher? Nobody knows. Yeah. Fabian, hello. I'm sorry that I wasn't in your live streams anymore. Was very busy. Can you chart, please, ANET? Okay. Welcome, Fabian. Nice to see you again, bro. Yes, sure. With pleasure. We're gonna do this. But we have Nvidia and Tesla before it, and then we start with ANET. All right. So yeah, basically this is what I'm looking for, guys, for the gold. Let's move to Nvidia. All right. For Nvidia, yeah, I mean, we're still ranging in the same place for Nvidia, but be careful. It's not impulsive. It's not looking for higher yet. You would like, if you are in this scenario where you are in a 1, 2, 3 as a leading diagonal, well, you would like to see one more move towards the upside. 1, 2, 3, and this can be, of course, a wave 4. Now, if this is gonna be your wave 5, well, you would like to see an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hitting this blue box, right? Unless Nvidia is showing an ending diagonal as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, because this looks like a zigzag here as a wave 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, potentially to hit, of course, this blue box. Okay, this is for Nvidia. I would still like to see this, unless you know, we took the all-time highs. This red line means, of course, we took the high, and that means it can be a finished wave 3, which is not nice diagonal, right? It's very, like, not so aggressive one. Yeah, it's very flat. It has like a barrier diagonal. Yeah, it's we can call it barrier almost, meaning like you see sideways in the top, which is not really nice signal. Yeah, so be careful. To get much more insight, let's take a look at the MACD as well. What do we have on the 15-minute chart? Yeah, this doesn't look nice. Even if you see here a little bit momentum, but I think it's done, it's finished. Yeah, so especially with this drop right now, and basically this might, of course, make some pressure as a confluence, of course, between the price action and the MACD line. Not divergent, it is in convergence or almost. So yeah, not really nice for Nvidia, to be honest, for higher prices. I have very strong divergence right now. Here we go on the 1-hour chart. Very strong divergence, okay? And that is a bearish signal that we might move toward the downside. Yeah, and of course, still on the momentum. The momentum still can get higher, and I mean for the red, because you still have open signal and MACD line. Yeah, so yeah, and the same for, let's see also the EMA with it. Oh yeah, all right. Yeah, so you are under the EMA 200, so that is not really nice to see, and especially that you're very close for a bearish cross on the 4-hour chart, a momentum moving down, hitting potentially, in case you get one more leg, you will hit the exponential moving average and then moving toward the downside. Yeah, very strong signal, guys, on the MACD. All right, so we have to be careful, and based, of course, on Elliott wave, it can be a finished structure here very easily, and then moving for lower. All right, so we're gonna see how this is going to unfold, but basically higher potential is to move for lower for Nvidia, so trade safe, guys. All right, so let's take a look also at Tesla. For Tesla, yeah, we are in this leading diagonal potentially as well. On the 4-hour chart, again, it's the same scenario, hitting the exponential EMA 200. On the MACD, bearish cross already, opening for a momentum for the red, and yeah, be careful for Tesla. Yeah. Tesla is clearer with the signal. On the 1 hour chart, we can see, of course, a massive move, potentially formation of a leading diagonal as 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5. Why I'm also raising a warning for Tesla, because in a daily you have a huge bearish scenario. Yeah, on the daily you might have, of course, the following scenario, right? At least A, B, and a C hitting between the 70 and the $50, or another bearish scenario is W, X, and a Y. The wave Y is also 3 waves toward the downside. Yeah, most welcome, Shafi. So finishing zigzag for wave Y and then moving toward the upside, meaning there are 2 scenarios, 3 scenarios even. It's coming the third. All scenarios shows at least minimum target here. If more bearish, meaning of course impulse toward the downside to hit there with a wave C. Now your final scenario is as well a triangle sideways, A, B, C, D, and an E, and then moving toward the upside impulsively. Sorry for the noise. Meaning in this scenario as well, you would like to see, of course, a zigzag toward the downside. All right. 3 scenarios showing this area has to be filled. All right. So be careful with it. Again, for nasdaq, and on the 4 hour chart you got, of course, your signal. Yeah, you are at the signal resistance, very strong resistance under the EMA 200, and of course a bearish cross, and of course starting a momentum toward the downside. Straight safe. All right, so a special request is Arista Networks. Let's see this one. All right, so it's called the abbreviation ANET. Okay, Arista Networks. All right, let's see this one. Okay, interesting. Yeah, interesting. Okay. All right, so psychology has been found inside this area since you took the low here, and that means, of course, 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. So okay, yeah, it's a double 1, 2. So your longest wave of here is 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Here we go. And then you got a final here, 1, 2 as A, B, and a C. And then 3, 4, and a 5. Here we go. So this is great. And this one is a bracket yellow. All right. After this, you got an expanding flat as a very clear A, B, and a C, right? And this is, of course, is gonna be in gray. All right, so basically you have a finished wave 1 here, or A. We're gonna come back to it to get the total of the counting here. Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 extended. Okay, so you got an extended 1, 2, 3, 4, extended wave 5. All right, so yeah, let's gather all the count to see what do we have. Basically, it is an ABC so far, or a 1, 2. So what do you have here is finished impulse here as a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5. And this is gonna be your bullish scenario in white. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're looking at the wave 4 right now. We're gonna estimate if finished or not. Another scenario is, of course, a B, and a C, and this is, of course, your wave C unfolding, which it might still, which it might be finished. Be careful, which it might be finished. All right, so this is the difference. Yeah, the difference between ABC is that you have finished, you move down, and potentially it can be done, but we're gonna see maybe it should be 3 waves. And potentially it is a wave 4 and a 5. Now, how we estimate a little bit much more the probabilities. For a wave 4, you would like to see the timing. Okay, so the time is huge actually. So yeah, you're not done yet with correction if in case you are bullish, wave 4 over wave 2. And that, of course, the targets, let's check them as well. Wave 4, here we go. Yes, so you would like to see, of course, the 0.23, you would like to see it hit, all right, which it is already, but you would like to see the time of this correction taking, of course, until this far. What does it mean? When you hit directly very fast the 0.23 after a very fast move toward the upside, highest possibility is that you are in a very sideways correction triangle. A, B, C, D, and E to hit the time perfectly, at least 1-to-1, and then moving toward the upside. While the exponential EMA, moving average, will be, of course, moving with it somehow, and then continuation for higher. Yeah? So this is the highest possibility, right? This is the highest one. Now, if we take a closer look at this correction, well, it is impulsive. So you have to be careful as well. You have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Clean impulse. And that means, of course, your correction even might be in a high possibility again, A, B, and a C. 3 ways up, 5 ways down again. To finish inside this range blue box. Okay. So A, B, C zigzag. 3 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to finish inside this range. Meaning whatever you're gonna get higher prices right now, it might of course still come back down in this scenario if you are in a zigzag, because you have an impulse, high possibility of course to continue for a wave C, and then moving 3 waves up again, and then yeah, continuation of the range. Potentially even that your zigzag is in, your zigzag can be even again a wave A for your triangle, meaning A, and then B, C, D, and an E again. Rather than finishing a small triangle like this, it might be a little bit bigger, and then moving toward the upside. Okay, so this is for Arista. And potentially, if you have finished a wave C here, you might be in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. You have to be careful. That is a potential bearish scenario. Yeah, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, meaning you have finished 3 waves up. You're looking for 3 waves down, and then continuation toward the upside. Yeah. So, but highest possibility is still for the bullish. And that because high possibility that you have, yes, you have reached the 1.27, and that means, of course, it can be considered as a high possibility for a wave C. Okay, wave C rather than a wave. Wave 3 rather than a wave C. Sorry, yeah, high possibility it is a wave 3. Now, preferably that we see the 1.618, which is the most common. This is uncommon, but yeah. Don't forget, it can be a weakness, showing a wave C extended a little bit as well. All right, so that was it for Arista. Okay. You're very welcome, Fabian. Mupi, can you please do block ink? Yes, I think you asked me for this in the comment. All right, here we go. Block. Is it how I should write it? Block ink? Yes, all right. Okay, let's see this one. Let's keep it on the 4 days chart. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you're looking at a correction potentially. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, meaning gray. Okay. So you have 2 scenarios again. You have potentially an A, B, and a C, of course. Unfinished yet, of course. or you have a big wave 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5 for higher. Okay, currently this correction is impulsive, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Yeah, 5, A, B, and a C. Okay, mini gray here, right? So this is your correction here. You would like to see a finished wave C. Okay, a finished wave C has to hit, of course, around the 1 to 1 fib level for a zigzag, or 0.618 as uncommon target. So yeah, be careful. You might reach this zone. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. 13 or $14 around it. Currently it is at 47. Yeah. You did not take the low yet. You have finished an impulse without taking the low. You have also an impulse here giving higher potential that you are in a zigzag. Uncommon target, if it's gonna show some like ending diagonal like this, you might hit only the 0.618, okay, as ending diagonal or around it, and then moving for higher. But if you continue impulsively, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, you are under the EMA as well, so be careful. On the daily, yeah, you have a bearish cross under the EMA. Be careful. You move very fast toward the downside. Yeah, trade safe. Okay, can you take a look at Sofi, Mr. Stevenio? Yes, sure, with pleasure. Let's see this. Right, I think we did this last time, right? Or not? Okay. All right. So Sofi, I think it's called Sofi Technology. Okay. All right. So what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Yes. Okay. That's not, is not a good chart, guys. I mentioned this always in crypto channel. Once you see an impulse, a chart starting with an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is not a healthy chart. Be careful. It might, because it all already tells you, okay, the direction is downside. Okay, because when you see, of course, an impulse, it tells you the direction of the chart. And be careful. Healthy chart equal healthy trading. Okay, and to get a healthy chart, you would like, especially in stocks, you would like to see a higher price, right? You would like to see a direction toward the upside. Now, of course, it can be that the market has found psychology, new psychology here, meaning like the company, I don't know, new management, new project, new technology, something creative that they did. So it can shift, of course, after an impulse, starting an impulse. But the problem is, I don't see any impulse here. That is a problem, meaning the direction is still towards the downside, and we're looking here at a choppy correction. Okay, all waves are interfering with each other. Yeah, there is no gap the same like here. You see, this is a huge gap. This is signaling a wave 3 here, but you don't see this anywhere here. They are all overlapping. And that means, of course, you're moving up correctively, and you might still move toward the downside again. Very simple, directly just by looking at it, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This is your bracket yellow. You have 3 ways up, 3 ways down. Your wave C has finished. Yeah, very simple. A, B, and a C. All right. Extended, not extended even, impulse for the wave C, very clear. You have an A, B, and a C ending diagonal 5 waves, right? So everything is confirmed so far. And then, meaning here you finished A, B, C. And A, B, C finishing this scenario, right? In white. You have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, and a 5. Yeah. Perfect. And then you move towards the downside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse. Zoom in. Let me explain. 1, 2, 3, 4. No intersection, no interfering with zone 1. Clean impulse, wave 5. It looks like an expanding diagonal, but it is not. It is an impulse. Yeah, that because an expanding diagonal, you would like to see the wave 4 interfering with the zone 1 before moving for higher. When you don't see it interfering, you got the gap that I talked about it. You got a gap here. And that means, of course, this is a wave 3, 4, and a 5. ABC for a wave 2, dropping down. We're going to confirm with the indicator. If this is the case. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. All right. If we take a look at the indicator, momentum shifting toward the downside. EMA, okay. At least you broke the EMA here towards the upside. That's a good signal that it might, of course, do something else. We're going to see what this something else can be. In case you break the EMA again toward the downside and you see the momentum shifting more toward the downside, be careful. This might be your signal. So you might see something like this. Okay. Yeah, so these are the possibilities on the 4-hour chart. Let's see. Here we go. Here on the 4-hour chart, and here where it starts from the lower time frame, because the lower time frame leads the higher time frame. On the 4-hour chart, you are at the edge of the exponential moving average, and then you got your bearish cross, you got the momentum increasing, you drop down. Okay, confirmation for 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 potentially. Yeah, so be careful. Highest possibility. In case you move higher on the daily, what it can be the possibility of course, corrective. Yeah, corrective. It might be a W, X, and a Y, somehow like this. Okay. Your wave Y is a triangle, is a zigzag, is a flat, can be anything, but nothing is impulsive. Yep, so that was for Sofi Technology. All right, guys, thank you for being here. And it's a short live stream, of course, that normally we do for SPX, NASDAQ, Tesla, and Nvidia, and gold. And of course, if there are some special requests, they are always welcome. Okay, guys, I wish you a nice trading day, and be careful today. It might be very volatile due to the FOMC interest rate decision. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you